Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. This video is proudly brought to you by the House of Cards, the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for all of your Flesh and Blood needs. Okay, so today we got something a little bit new going on. I was playing Blitz Iyslander, which honestly was a ton of fun. I had never played the deck. It was a list that one of the guys on the team, his name's Zach, put together, and the deck is insanely strong. I played 7 games and I went 7-0. A couple people just kind of like rage quit, like salt and then left. Somebody said wizards were lame, which I thought was pretty funny. But the deck is a lot of fun, and it's honestly more like aggro Iyslander than it is anything else. It's a lot of like reds and a lot like it's really like a lot of red one costers that throw 4 arcane damage, and then you're also throwing the blue 1 costers at your opponent during their turn. It plays channel like Frigid and Blizzard and things like that to really help with disruption. The deck was really cool. I really liked it. One thing that you don't see a lot in CC Iyslander is the card Scour, which is in our deck here. It's really cool, and I think it's very valuable against Prism. You kind of get to hear me having a moment of like, what is this for? Like, why am I playing this card? Like, and it all kind of dawned upon me that it's for Prism and to deal with Spectral Shield so that you can continue to push through the arcane. The deck is a lot of fun. It's really good. The 2 matchups that I picked out to play are against the Mirror and Datadol. Datadol is interesting. I saw that Datadol won a skirmish kind of recently, so I was pretty intrigued by that, and I thought, you know what, let's throw this game in here. The games are really fun, and I really enjoy the deck. It kind of feels like playing Burn for Magic, honestly. You're just throwing as much damage as your opponent as you can, and you're just saying, deal with this, stop me. And I kind of like that. It's pretty fun. So anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by and watching the video, and I hope you enjoy the games. I decided to go with Coronet Peak here. He does have AB4, so we would basically just be giving him a counter on... Basically just be giving my opponent a counter on their Alluvian Constellus. I mean, the fact that they're just going to try and give me 3 Frostbites here is pretty interesting. I don't even know if Zach's list has that card in it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and prevent 2 here. Get a counter on our Alluvian Constellus. Cold Snap draws us a card. We'll just go ahead and take the 3 Frostbites here. Don't really see a reason to get frisky and try to do anything. We can just try to put the Channel Lake in play. It's a pretty good play here. So we're just gonna go upstairs here with the Aether Hail. 4 arcane damage is pretty solid and does really can really attempt to take the wind out of my opponent's turn here. Plus having Channel Lake Frigid to flash is pretty solid. Putting Channel Lake Frigid into play is a very good play in general. And my opponent takes 1. We'll go ahead and play the Waning Moon here. Activate that. We'll try to get some points in. Would be surprised if my opponent didn't give me a card here, honestly. They're going to take 1. I was like, Red Scolding would be super interesting. Emeritus Scolding is a very good card, especially in the Wizard Mirror. If you're familiar with the Wizard Mirror, you definitely know what's going on there. No, so they pitch an Ice Bolt and just pass. Well, I have no ice cards. So... Let's just go ahead and go after my opponent here with the red Emeritus Scolding. It is 4 arcane damage here. Huh. I was like, please go away. Now, they do have a second counter on their Alluvian Constellus already, which is pretty good for them. But considering they took 2, I think they're going to take some more here, so I'm pretty inclined to just pass and just kind of try to keep the Channel Lake Frigid up. We'll go ahead and put Channel Lake Frigid into play. Part of me kind of wants to just fire off the Waning Moon here and then just play the Aether Quickening on my own turn. Just have a turn with no arsenal. I am pretty tempted by this, honestly. I mean, they don't have any resources floating. Like, they're forced to take 3 here. I am intrigued that they're playing Frost Hex. It's very surprising to me. We're going to go Ice Eternal, then Scalding Rain. Pitch the Ice Bolt. If they fire back in response here when we have the Channel Lake out, then I will definitely AB 2 as opposed to throwing 2 at my opponent with the Waning Moon. I mean, I don't think they can kill us from 18. I just don't think it's viably possible. Maybe red Emeritus Scolding allows us to do that. Now gives us the ability to do that. Channel Lake gets a counter from the Ice Bolt. Destroy X aura tokens and or auras with 0 but controlled but with cause 0. That's interesting. I guess that's like, what is that for? Oh, that's for Prism. That is for Prism. So putting Scour in my arsenal is very scary. This is also my only way to activate Nourishing Emptiness here. Guess I could just play that for nothing. I don't know. I get to keep 2 floating and I get to come in with a dominated Nourishing Emptiness here because I don't have any other attacks in my deck. So this is pretty solid line here. Da 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 dominate. That's right. Take 1, boy. And I have a full grip of cards. They've already played both of their red Arctic Incarcerations, so that's pretty solid for us. Yeah, we'll just pass here. We'll go Frosting and then the red Aether Hail here. Yeah, I guess we'll arsenal this. So we're not going to pay anything for this. I guess this is for Prism. I can only imagine that this is for Prism. So I got a 9. I think I would rather keep this. Like, my opponent's at 9. So, like, us pushing through 1 point of damage here is very relevant. Like, it's not like this means nothing. So, my opponent goes to 8. I'm just going to arsenal the Emeritus Scolding here and pass. If my opponent taps out or overextends, they are Omega dead. Like this. So this and Metacarpet's nodes cost 3. This costs 1. Aether Quickening costs 2 more, which is my last 2 cards, and then I get to Waning Moon them. And we Omega have it here. I'm going to have 1 resource when this is all over with. Pitch Frosting, activate Storm Striders. That resolves. We'll play this. And then this will be for 5 arcane damage, and they'll go to -2. Here, we're going to use our Crown of Providence pretty liberally. Wow, they have AB2, maybe AB4. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. Because now we get to force them to decide if they would rather take 1 here and keep their 2 cards. I mean, they probably just pitch another card here, which is that's a good play by my opponent. Spellfire Cloak is kind of like combo kill card. So let's go pitch this. We'll block 3 here. I mean, I could use my Spellfire Cloak here to fire off a Waning Moon, but I just don't think it's worth. Can't play the old zoom in there, buddy. But you can pitch the zoom in to pistol me if you want. I like the fact that Data Doll only has 3 intellect. I mean, I like it for me, not because I like it for the hero. I honestly wish the hero had 4 intellect. I think Data Doll would be extremely broken if she had the right cards. So we're probably just going to try and hang on to the Nourishing Emptiness here. We'll show you. Is there any world where I can keep Channel Lake Frigid around? I don't think so. So let's show you Cold Snap. Block with Cold Snap. Snap. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. What is this card? That next time your hero would be dealt damage, where X is the number of steam counters on this. That's a pretty good one. Not too shabby for my opponent there. Put that into play is pretty solid. So the 6 Dominate is honestly not really going to be super relevant. They're going to give us Skullcap, Heart, and a card. Or they might just give us Skullcap and destroy the Dissipation Shield. Is that what it's called? Dissipation Shield. They are. They're actually just going to do that. That is incredibly poor play by my opponent. Like, and I'm not even trying to be rude. Like, my opponent might be a great player, but that is not a good decision right there at all. I'm just going to take 3 here. If they have no resources, I'm trying to debate if I can kill them or not, because this is 5, 8, 11. Does this have boost? Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna take 5 here. Or no, actually, I'm not. I'm wrong. I lied. I'm gonna block. So, Metacarpus node would be pitch Ice Eternal, Scalding Rain, have 1 left. Activate Storm Striders, have none. Pitch Scour to go Scalding Rain into Metacarpus node, and then with my last 2, and then I would pop this for another resource, so I'd have 2. No cards in hand, I'll be able to Waning Moon, which means I can block Scour and Crown of Providence if I want to, or I can just block Crown of Providence and put Scour on the bottom, because I don't need the other blue in my hand. That's just a better card to play anyway. So we'll go to 9, and then when they activate Heart, we're going to kill them. Yeah, 5, 8, 11. Iyslander feels insanely bonkers. So they go to 8. We activate Storm Striders. Storm Striders resolves. We play Scalding Rain. We'll pitch the Ice Eternal here so that we are setting up a pitch stack. We don't need to set up a pitch stack here, but I do think it's worth doing. I think it's worth practicing this way because it is the more correct way to play. We'll pop Spellfire Cloak to gain a resource, and we'll Waning Moon you for 3 here while this is on the stack, and you die. Okay, so I picked out these 2 games to kind of talk about here for a couple of reasons. The first one is the Iyslander Mirror. The Iyslander Mirror is honestly not super fun in CC, and it kind of feels like who sets up first and who sees their Ice Eternals better. And it's really just like, I don't know, I don't really enjoy that matchup, but this is pretty fun to me because I feel like throwing a bunch of arcane damage at each other and trying to block and knowing when to take and, you know, stuff like that. There's a lot of like tightrope walking that's involved in that, and I really enjoy that. But my opponent was playing an interesting list. They were on the Wounded Bulls, the Fighting Spirits, like they were on Frost Hex. They were on a more like a traditional CC Iyslander list, which I found pretty surprising and kind of interesting. You'll notice my opponent, you know, tapped out to throw an attack at me and didn't have any resources left, and I was just able to kill him. And I think that that's the problem with playing the traditional CC Iyslander list, trying to convert that to a Blitz list. I think that's the problem you'll see with that, is that when you tap out or when you do something, Kano Iyslander will get you. Now, against certain matchups, it probably will be good for you. It might be good against Oldhim if they're trying to fatigue you. It'll help you push over the top and things like that. But I just don't see that list being very good. The Data Doll matchup was interesting. They had AB2, and then if you count Skullcap, AB5. So AB5 is interesting and can definitely be worth. You know, at the end of the game, my opponent, you know, used Heart to tap out for the last resource, and I had exactly 11 points. The thing that makes this Iyslander deck so nasty and so, like, you know, easy to win games with, in my opinion, is because people are starting at 20. You know, having to deal 40 with a wizard in CC is not exactly easy because you already started a lower life total and you really having to grind them out and chip in damage and have a lot of value. But in Blitz, you can just run people over with it. Like, I think it was like turn 3, I killed the Data Doll player. They also made a very interesting decision. When I threw the Nourishing Emptiness, they gave me their Skullcap and whatever the item was. I can't remember what it's called, like Dissipation Shield or something, I think. They chose to do that instead of just blocking with Skullcap, Heart, and a card from hand. That felt like a very wrong play, honestly, because like they left open the window for me to kill them. That Dissipation Shield or Dissipation, whatever it's called, was a very good card for them to have and was really going to help, like, you know, blow me out in a certain spot. So I don't know, it was an interesting decision, and I don't know if it cost them the game, but I think it definitely didn't help. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the Blitz gameplay. I really enjoyed it. I got a skirmish coming up, so I don't know, there might be some more content coming out around Blitz, but I really enjoyed playing the deck and it was a lot of fun. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.